Hi guys, welcome to your math lesson for today. I wanted to just take some time and go over this new standard because it is new and explain it, but I don't think it'll be very challenging for you guys to understand. I hope things are going well with the protractors. Please reach out to me if they're not so we can set up a small group meeting on Teams because you have to understand the protractors to really understand this. So if you're having trouble with that still, like I said, please reach out to me so I can give you some extra practice and we can go over it. This standard, MD7, says that we're going to recognize angle measures as additive. And basically, all of this standard, it's long and complicated, but what it basically means is that we can take an angle measure and we can decompose it into smaller angles, and then we can add those angles together. So let's take a look at an example really quick. So if we look at this, looking at this angle, this is one that we clearly know is a 90-degree angle, no question about it. But it says, how could we decompose this angle? Well, guys, we can decompose it in a lot of different ways. But if I just look at this, if this is a 90-degree angle, I can decompose this angle, and I actually split it pretty evenly, which never happens, but I can decompose this angle. And if I say that this angle, we label this angle, angle 1, and we label this angle, angle 2. If I told you that angle 1 is 45 degrees, the whole idea of this standard is that you're able then to tell me what angle 2 is equal to, because you know that angle 1 right here is 45 degrees, and you know the whole angle is 90 degrees, so then obviously angle 2 would be what? 45 degrees, right? Because 45 degrees plus 45 degrees equals 90 degrees. The standard says that these two angles aren't going to overlap. I could do it into threes if I wanted to. If I wanted to say that if I wanted to, let's erase all of this. If I wanted to say that this angle and then this angle, now I have angle 1, angle 2, and angle 3. And once again, I split that pretty evenly without even trying. And so obviously I know if angle 1, if I say it's 30 degrees, then we know angle 2 and angle 3 don't have to each be 30 degrees, but I'm just going to show you that these are all 30 degrees, right? All of those angles make up that 90 degrees altogether. It just so happens that I've given you two examples where the angle measures are all the same, but it doesn't have to be like that either. I could, if I wanted to, let's just go ahead and let's split it like this. Let's go ahead and say, okay, now here's angle 1 and here's angle 2. Well, angle 2, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you is 80 degrees. I'm just kind of making that up on the fly here. 80 degrees. If angle 2 is 80 degrees, that means angle 1 has to be 10 degrees because we have to make sure that it equals 90. So that's how we decompose angles, and that's how we show that they're additive measures, okay? So let's take a look at this example. It says Rachel and Dean made a sign out of fabric like the one shown to hang in the school gymnasium. The blue piece has a 35-degree angle. The red piece is attached to the longest side of the blue piece. Together, the pieces form a right angle. Hint, hint, hint. What is the angle shown on the red piece? So, two strategies here. One, make a model. If it tells us that it's together the pieces form a right angle, that's your biggest hint right there. You're going to draw out a 90-degree angle. That's a right angle. It told us what one of the pieces is. The blue piece is a 35-degree angle, so I'm going to just estimate what a 35-degree angle would look like. Your model drawing doesn't have to be perfect, but I know that if this is 35 degrees and this right here, the whole thing is 90 degrees, to solve this, I would simply do 90 degrees minus 35 degrees, right? And so when I do this, I get that it is 55 degrees. Now, other strategy that you could do is you can use an equation, which is really what we did here, but we had a drawing to go along with it first. So we know that 90 degrees is the sum of the two parts. One angle is 35, so we need to find the unknown. So we use a variable. Here it's saying use the letter R. We're going to use a variable to represent our unknown angle. 35 degrees plus our unknown angle R equals 90 degrees. Okay, and so then we solve that, basically doing exactly what we just did right here. This only difference is that we've written out an equation here and we're solving it without drawing a picture. But it's the same concept. Either way is fine with me. Okay, so now here's one where we're looking at it and it says find the combined measure of the angle shown. So we would have to do this too. We have to listen to what it's asking you to do. It says one of the angles is 20 degrees. The symbol on this angle right here obviously lets us know that this one is 90 degrees. But that's not what the question was asking us. It wasn't asking us to find that. What it asked us to find, what is the combined measure of the angle shown? So now I'm going to have to take my 90 degrees plus my 20 degrees to get my 110 degrees, because I'm adding those two together because it asked for me to find the combined measure of the angle. And my answer makes sense. I always need to go back and ask myself, does my answer make sense? Well, yeah, my answer does make sense because this angle is clearly greater than 90 degrees. It's an obtuse angle. So that makes sense to be my answer. Okay, so like I said, this standard is really addition and subtraction and understanding angles as degrees, but it's all about decomposing those angles. So here's your task for today that I want for you to do in your math notebook. Your task for today is this constructed response, and I just want to take a minute and go over it with you real quick. It says the figure shown is a parallelogram with line segments drawn between each pair of parallel sides. The angles formed where the line segments intersect are numbered 1 through 4. So you can see in here 1, 2, 3, 4, all of these together. Okay? Now it says use the figure to answer the questions. What is the sum of the measures of angles 1 and 2? Take a look at 1 and 2. If I were to find 1 and 2, what would be the sum? Explain your answer, okay? Now it says the sum of the measures of 2, 3, and 4 is 305 degrees. What is the measure of angle 1? So it's saying if I take 2, 3, and 4, this whole angle right here is 305 degrees. Think about our lesson from yesterday. Look at what I've done here. I've created part of a circle. So if you know that this part of the circle, even though the shape on the outside is not a circle, the angles are still forming that circle when they're all together like that. So when I take a look at this, if I know this is all 305 degrees, to close in this, what's going to be the rest? You have to explain your answer. Okay? So then, after you solve that, part C says using your answers from part A and part B, write an equation to determine the measure of angle 2 in degrees. Use the letter A to represent the measure of angle 2. So basically you have to take what you've done in A and B. You've already found some of those angle measures to find how to show how we're gonna find angle 2. You guys may write that in different ways, and that's okay. And then part D says solve the equation to find the measure of angle 2. All right? Good luck. Reach out to me if you need anything, and I'll talk to you guys soon.